Welcome back to Chow Time Pods. Your host, I got videos today from Basklye. I feel this is the epitome of it's just not enough.
Dude, bruh, tell me I didn't see what I just saw. Tell me I didn't see what I just saw. Please tell me I didn't see what I just saw. Yeah, it's cooked. It's cooked. It's over, bro. They're crazy. They are crazy. $2.4 million.
That's a lot of money, especially when you used to only have what, 100K, 80K salary.
$2.4 million and y'all.
$2.4 million. That's the maximum salary WNBA owners put on the table. And the Players Association said no. Not let us think about it. Not we need to negotiate further. Just no. To put that in perspective, the current max salary in the WNBA is $250,000.
$250,000 to 2.4. That is a 10x salary cap increase. 10. 5 fingers on each hand. 10. Holy cow, that's a lot of money that just all of a sudden appeared out of nowhere. Yes, maybe you put in a little bit more work. Yes, maybe the league grew slightly, still losing money, but they're willing to pay you 10x the money. And what did they say? Nah, it's just not enough.
The owners offered to multiply that by nearly 10 times within 5 years. And it still wasn't enough, so we need to understand what actually happened in these negotiations. Because this decision could define the next decade of women's professional basketball.
These players, we got to get into this. Welcome to Keep the Vision. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share the channel, hit that bell notification, and hype the video. Let's get right into things, man. So we know that there was a three-hour-long meeting yesterday where the players thought the WNBA was going to give them some whopping offer, just a whopping of a deal.
It's just like, here, just take our money.
WNBA owners didn't offer him a damn thing. They told him to hit the bricks. Your main people didn't even show up. We'll get back to you when we get back to you.
Here's what makes this particularly significant. Everything the WNBA is offering right now exists because of one person's impact on ratings. When Caitlin Clark...
Which is so true, right? It's all on the backs of one person, and they all have this bravado like, we hot stuff.
...got injured last season. Viewership dropped by 55%. Not 15%, not 25%, 55%. That's not a dip,
half.
That's a collapse. And yet the Players Association is negotiating as if the league's growth is permanent and guaranteed, rather than tied directly to specific star power that might not translate to the entire roster.
Shelburne, she said, adding to Alexa Phillipou's recap from yesterday, ESPN has obtained some information that was presented to players at yesterday's meeting, summarizing the WNBA's current positions. Let's get into it. Here it says, WNBA CBA proposal. The goal is a win-win for the CBA. Win-win CBA.
Okay, let's see what a win-win looks like and how women still don't think it's a win.
CBA. Substantially increase player salaries to reflect recent and future business growth, promote business health and profitability, maintain incentives for team and league investment. So that third part, you can't maintain incentive for people to invest if you're not making money.
I wanted to thank Anson Belton Buckles for actually sponsoring this portion of today's video. I could tell you guys now, I've had these belts for over 3 months now, and they're my favorite belts. I have a lot of Ferragamo belts, a lot of Gucci belts that just, for my suits and stuff, but this just fits so much easier and feels so much more comfortable than a lot of those, preset holes. Thanks to the micro track system, I can get the perfect fit almost every single time. You guys know me, I don't take sponsors unless I actually use the product myself, and I think this product is one of the best belts out there. Just how well it can fit and adjust to your size and then easily remove or readjust, it's amazing. Their box set actually gives you 3 buckles and 3 straps, which gives you 9 combinations with just that one set. with quality that's next level and actually a lifetime guarantee. Honestly, I don't think I'm going to go back to old belts just because everything fits so perfectly well. And because Anson Belts and Buckles is actually sponsoring this video, if you click the bio down below or on screen and build a set yourself, you're going to actually get one extra buckle and one extra strap. That's actually 2 bonus pieces completely for free. That's 3 buckles, 3 straps that mix and match into 9 unique belt combos in one box. It's an exclusive deal you won't find anywhere else, so please hit that link, build your set, and upgrade your belt game today.
Ramona Shelburne at ESPN obtained the actual documents that were presented to players at yesterday's meeting. And when you look at the salary projections, the owners weren't playing games. They laid out a clear path. Average salaries would jump from $120,000 in 2025 to $540,000 this season.
In one season, it jumped up almost 5x. 5x for average. So across the board for almost every single player, it's almost a 5x increase. And what did women say? It's just not enough.
If the deal was signed, not max salaries, average salaries, by 2031, the average player would be making $1 million annually. The maximum contracts would start at $1.3 million immediately. And
1.3 million immediately, guys. Oh my jeez. Imagine losing millions upon millions and being considered pro players that lose to teenage boys going into the league making 1.3 million a year. That is a lot of money.
Scale up to 2.4 million by 20. This isn't a minor bump. This is a complete restructuring of WNBA compensation.
It really is.
Okay. I'm gonna zoom in. All right, right now. This is where they at right now. Right? Average player salaries, projected player salaries. Okay. Boom. In 2025, prior to the CBA, it was 120 grand, right? Didn't we
look at the projections seem so. If I saw me personally as a business owner and like someone that's pretty business savvy, looking at projection numbers like this, I would have been all over it. Like all over it, right? But it's just not enough.
We'll go 540 grand, 780 grand, $1 million, right?
$1 million in a 5-year, 6-year span from 1.2K. Or sorry, 120K. Yeah. 10x in 6 years. What job has this potential 10x in 6 years?
Okay. Now, this is the Supermax salary. Now, that's with the projections. And if they sign the new CBA, these are the average salaries. So you're looking at 540K for this season, getting up to 780K in 2031.
But salary numbers are only part of what was on the table. The proposal included team charter flights for preseason, regular season, and postseason games, first-class travel in and out of team markets, 2 additional roster spots specific.
So they're getting paid more and getting a tremendous amount of more amenities because private flights and all these things are not cheap.
Typically for developmental players, which means 2nd and 3rd round draft picks, wouldn't automatically get cut and forced overseas. Increased salary cap exceptions for pregnant players. New team staffing.
Salary cap exception for pregnant players? What the hell's going on here? I never even thought about the whole pregnant player scenario. Now, sports league have to worry about their players getting pregnant and like missing out on a whole season. Damn.
Requirements, including physicians, trainers, strength and conditioning coaches, physical therapists, and access to nutritionists.
That's a lot.
The owners were addressing nearly every complaint the players' union had raised over the past 3 years.
Nerve to think, what y'all think y'all worth 2.4 right now? This is crazy. This is crazy that the owners offered y'all a deal that 5 years from now, the max y'all will be getting 2.4, possibly even more. Okay, y'all be getting 1.3 for this season on a max deal. An average salary of $540,000. They said no. 2031, the average salary will be $1 million. The average. Yeah, these ladies is Delulu. These ladies are Delulu, man. They've lost it, man. $2.4 million turned down. Crazy.
And they went even deeper. Higher team contributions to 401k retirement plans. Increased performance bonuses for award.
Wait, sports stars have 401k retirement plans? I did not know this.
Awards and playoff advancement. Medical benefits continuation for players waived after the midpoint of the season, which currently doesn't exist. New requirements allowing young children of players and their caregivers to travel with the team, with additional hotel rooms covered. Free.
What? So the family has to travel? Does regular sports male stars get to bring their whole team with them? I mean, their whole family with them, and then the team pays for it? Or do they pay it out of their own pockets?
Free WNBA League Pass for all players. Complimentary All-Star tickets. The elimination of marijuana testing and new treatment programs for.
I don't hate on the elimination of the marijuana testing part, personally.
For substance issues. The ability to invest in and have endorsement deals with sports betting, fantasy, and cannabis companies. This wasn't just a salary negotiation. This was a comprehensive benefits overhaul.
Damn.
Rookie scale.
Just all the things that they listed that they're getting, so much out of it. I would have been looking at this and like, where do I sign? Say no more.
Contracts. Upward salary adjustments, which means they would make adjustments to the salaries that rookies are on so they can get more money. Like, it's a win around the board, man. It's a win around the board. Team charter travel, preseason, regular season, and postseason games, first class travel in and out of team market, higher annual salary, more allowable guaranteed contracts per team, additional categories of salary protection, 2 new development player rosters. So they were going to add 2 roster spots for developmental players.
Now here's where the players.
So like a second string, third string? Yeah, that's a lot more players getting paid, a lot more people getting paid, a lot more women getting paid. I thought women were trying to advocate for women getting paid more money. Why are you guys like capping your own women from even getting into the league?
Union's position starts to fall apart. The owners explicitly stated their goal was to substantially increase player salaries while maintaining incentives for team and league investment.
Makes sense.
That third part is critical. You cannot maintain incentive for people to invest if the league isn't profitable. The WNBA has been operating in the red for most of its existence, subsidized by the NBA. The recent growth in revenue and viewership created an opportunity to actually become self-sustaining. But if the players demand a revenue split that pushes the league back into $700 million of debt, no investor is putting money into
negative $700 million.
Expansion teams. No owner is upgrading facilities. The whole CAC trajectory stalls out.
Coaches.
Makes sense.
Physical therapists, access to nutritionists. I mean, listen, man, the WNBA players,
I'm seeing 37 things listed right here already.
The WNBA players got to get real, man. These owners have made adjustments. They're looking to do things. The players are kind of like wacky, man. I'm going to be honest with you.
It is funny, like, oh, the business owner has plans and, already a future and builds things out and willing to pay the employees more money, and the employees are just like, we don't want to work because we think we're worth more money. How do you think anything's going to get paid out? Do you think the employer is still going to have a business after everybody quits because they think they're going to get paid more? Like, I don't know. Again, I'm not much of a sports guy, but I'm also very logical, and it just doesn't make sense.
They very wacky for this, man. Higher team contributions to players, 401k.
The whole pregnant thing is just tripping me out.
Retirement, increased performance bonuses for awards and playoff advancement. Additional funding for player programs, access to recently retired players, broader access to family planning benefits, medical benefits, continuation for players waived after mid.
The players' union went into yesterday's meeting, expecting the owners to cave. They thought 3 hours of face-to-face negotiation would result in a massive offer, something closer to what they've been demanding. Instead, the owners showed up, presented the same proposal that was already on the table, and essentially said, "This is it. Take it or leave it." The key decision-makers from ownership didn't even attend. They sent representatives who had no authority to negotiate further. That's a power move. That's ownership saying, "We're not desperate here, you are."
Programs for marijuana alcohol abuse, elimination of marijuana testing, 50% of certain team fines donated to PA selected charity, ability to invest in having.
So they wanted the ability to be able to allocate where their own fines go to. so ridiculous.
Endorsement deals with sports betting, fantasy, and cannabis companies. I don't think we should do that. It's too much going on. It's too much going on.
I do agree the whole cannabis company thing. There's a reason why none of the major sports stars or none of the major sports network / teams or sports like really promote cannabis. It's not a good thing to promote, in my opinion. So yes, people smoke. I smoke. I'm not saying people don't, but I don't think it's a great thing to kind of push onto the youth.
With the gambling stuff, I don't think y'all should do that at all. I think that's a bad idea. The NBA is already trying to move away from a lot of these betting deals that they had.
Yeah, the betting stuff. I tell you guys about it. Gambling is probably one of the worst things you can do. I can tell you now. I mean, maybe once a week you're putting on like $5 up for to bet for the game, and it's the Lakers playing, and like, ooh, cheer on the Lakers. Sure, I'm not gonna say much about that, but when you're trying to parlay 10 different games, trying to make like your $5 turn into $1,000, or you're desperately throwing in $1,000 to try to make $10,000. It isn't going to work, guys. It isn't going to work.
Because of all the stuff they got going on. Mobile medical record app for players. Earlier first payment of annual salary, additional mental health resources, increased promotional and commercial appearance fees, new non-birthing parent leave policy.
New non-birthing parent leave policy. Oh, I'm assuming if they're like lesbians and then their wives are giving birth, they still want leave. Is that what I'm hearing?
You ain't even the one pregnant. What do you got to leave for? This is nuts.
Right?
Let's talk about what the players are actually asking for, because the details matter. The union wants a revenue-sharing model similar to the NBA, where players receive approximately 50% of basketball-related income. On the surface, that sounds fair. Equal partnership, equal split. But the NBA is a $75 billion business, with generational wealth built over decades. The WNBA is still establishing its financial foundation. Applying the same revenue split to a league that's still building profitability is like asking a startup to pay salaries.
Considering that the NBA still funds the WNBA, what they're funding them like what 100 to like 40 mil a year. So how can you use the model that it's paying you, but you can't?
The math doesn't work. And when you factor in that the recent revenue spike is directly tied to one player's drawing power, not league-wide popularity, the risk becomes even clearer. Here's what makes this significant. The owners aren't rejecting the concept of revenue sharing. They're rejecting the percentage and the timeline. They're saying we'll get there, but we need to build sustainable profitability first. And that's not unreasonable. When you consider the actual financial picture, the WNBA's revenue jumped from approximately $300 million to over $2 billion in media rights deals. That sounds incredible until you break down where that money goes. Operating costs for 12 teams, facility rentals, travel expenses that are about to increase dramatically with charter flights, marketing and promotion budgets, league office operations, health and retirement benefits, and yes, player salaries. When you run those numbers, the owners are arguing that giving players the percentage they're demanding would put the league back in the red within 2 years. The players' union disputes this. They believe the owners are hiding profits or undervaluing the league's actual worth.
What profits?
And maybe there's some truth to that. Private businesses don't always open their books completely. But here's the problem with that argument. If the league was secretly profitable, why would owners need to subsidize it through the NBA? Why would multiple
Correct. Why would NBA be still subsidizing a huge chunk of the league?
WNBA franchises be valued at less than $50 million when NBA teams sell for billions? The financial reality doesn't support the union's position. Now let's address the elephant in the room. The Caitlin Clark factor. When she's playing, viewership spike. When she's injured or not in primetime slots, ratings crater. The Indiana Fever's games averaged 3 times the viewership of non-Fever games last season. That's not a slight against other players. That's just the data. And it creates a complicated situation for negotiation. The owners are essentially saying, we're offering you generational wealth, based on growth that might not continue if the specific stars driving.
That's the thing. The growth might not continue. It might turn back into what the league originally is without her. And they're going to be in the major red because they've already upped everybody's contracts and pay.
That growth leave, get injured or retire. The players are saying, we deserve this money, regardless of individual star power because we're the product. Both positions have merit, but only one is backed by financial sustainability. Think about what happens if the players get their demanded revenue split, and then Caitlin Clark suffers a career-ending injury next season. Or if she decides to take her talents overseas where she could make more money with less scrutiny. Or if the novelty of WNBA basketball wears off for casual fans who tuned in specifically for her, the revenue drops. But the salary commitments remain. The league goes back into massive debt. Expansion plans get canceled. Teams fold. That's not speculation. That's basic business reality. The owners are trying to protect against that scenario by offering substantial increases tied to continued growth.
You know, this really ties into how a lot of white liberals or just more wokey type people think that the elites are just so rich that they're hiding all their wealth and they're controlling everything. I mean, they're not wrong in a sense, but it's also, you can kind of see where the money goes with this particular thing. You know, if it was some billionaire, yeah, obviously we don't know what the hell he's doing with his money. But when it comes to this, a lot of it is public information, at least the expenses of the league.
Rather than guaranteed percentages that could bankrupt the league if growth stalled. And the players' union is calling that greed. But is it greed to want your business to remain solvent? Is it greed to say, we'll pay you more as we make more, but we need to ensure we're actually making more first? Here's another angle that's not getting enough attention. The developmental roster spots. The owners offered to add 2 spots per team specifically for developing young players. That's 24 additional jobs across the league.
Oh, it's 2 spots. I thought it was 2 whole. My bad. Okay, so but still, yeah, more players on the league though.
24 players who currently get cut and have to go overseas would instead stay in the WNBA, practice with their teams, develop their skills, and potentially become rotation players. The union rejected that. They rejected the creation of 24 new jobs because the overall revenue split wasn't what they wanted. Think about what that says to the 2nd and 3rd round picks who are about to get cut in training camp. The charter flight situation is equally telling. Players have been demanding charter flights for years, citing safety, recovery, and competitive advantage. The owners agreed. Full charter flights for preseason, regular season, and postseason. That's a massive operational expense that will cost tens of millions annually. And the players' union said not good enough. We want more money too. At some point, you have to acknowledge when your demands are being met. Same with the benefits package. Medical coverage extension, family travel accommodations, retirement contributions, mental health resources, nutritionist access, improved training staff requirements. These are real, tangible improvements to player welfare and career longevity.
True.
They're being dismissed because
they actually care. It seems like the owners care. I gave the players a significant amount of upgrades and offers for this.
The salary numbers aren't high enough. But here's the thing. All of those benefits have monetary value. When you add up charter flights, extended medical coverage, family travel, and enhanced retirement contributions,
millions.
That's easily another $100,000 per player in effective compensation. but it doesn't show up in the salary line, so it gets ignored. The marijuana testing elimination is
This is so true, but that's because basklye, you know, I always say it. Women only see this, what's in front of them, and what's in front of them, and all they care about is money.
particularly interesting. The owners agreed to stop testing for marijuana and create treatment programs for substance issues.
The stop testing I agree with, but the being able to endorse cannabis products, I do not agree with.
That's a significant policy shift that players have wanted for years. It acknowledges that marijuana use shouldn't be treated the same as performance-enhancing drugs. It shows,
In my opinion, it'd be anything, it'd be kind of like the opposite. Wait, he did all that while high?
the owners are willing to evolve on social issues. And it got zero credit in the union's response. Now let's talk about the timeline. The owners are projecting these salary increases over 6 years, reaching 2.4 million by 20. The union wants that number now, or at least within 2 years. But rapid salary inflation without corresponding revenue growth is how businesses fail. The owners are saying,
Imagine, you know, my business only making like 100K at the donut shop and I'm paying out like 200K in salary. Yeah, ain't gonna last.
we need to see
Doesn't
sustained
matter how much
revenue
donuts I
increases
sell.
before we commit to maximum salaries. That's not stalling, that's fiscal responsibility. And here's what nobody's discussing. What happens to mid-tier and role players in the union's preferred model? If you push maximum salaries to $4 or $5 million immediately, teams will have to allocate a larger percentage of their cap space to star players. That means less money available for the 6th through 12th players on the roster. You could end up with a more extreme version of NBA salary distribution, where superstars make $40 million and role players make the minimum. Is that really better for the majority of union members?
Again, women just don't see that. Whatever benefits them right now. I want the money now. I don't care about future projection. I don't care about other women that might join the league. I don't care about the future women that might be able to make money off the league or not. Nope. I need money now.
The owner's proposal actually creates a more balanced salary structure. Average salaries of $1 million means the middle-class players, the solid rotation pieces who aren't all-stars, they're making real money. They're built.
Yeah, they'll probably be making what, 200, 300K at least, because if it's averaging to be like 500K, 700K, it means the lower end salaries are probably going to be maybe 200K.
Building wealth. They're not getting squeezed out by supermax contracts. But the union leadership is focused on the top line max number, not the overall distribution, and that might hurt their own members. So where does this leave us? The players' union has now rejected 2 proposals. The owners have made clear they're not negotiating further until the union comes back with realistic demands. The current collective bargaining agreement expires soon, which means we could be looking at a work stoppage. A lockout or strike right when the WNBA is experiencing unprecedented growth would be catastrophic for the league's momentum. And here's the final piece that makes this so frustrating. The owners gave the players almost everything they asked for except a specific revenue percentage.
One thing.
Everything. Charter flights.
Because it wasn't enough.
Medical benefits, family accommodations, developmental rosters, retirement contributions, facility improvements, staff requirements.
It makes me think, what if they just gave them more money and didn't give them all these extra benefits? Would these women be happy with that?
They addressed every quality of life issue. They offered to more than quintuple maximum salaries over 6 years. And it wasn't enough. At what point does the players' union have to acknowledge that their position isn't just ambitious, it's unrealistic? At what point do they
It's pretty much going full retard. And again, you never go full retard.
recognize that killing the golden goose to get more eggs faster is bad strategy? Because that's what's happening here. The WNBA has a chance to build sustainable generational growth, but it requires patience and partnership between players and owners. And right now, the union is choosing confrontation over collaboration. So the question becomes, will the players' union reconsider before they force a work stoppage that damages everything they've built? Or are we about to watch the WNBA squander its best opportunity for long-term success because the union overplayed its hand? Drop your take in the comments.
Nope, the league is doomed. They don't see the benefits of the contract just because they don't get the one thing. This is literally feminism. This is literally women and how women operate, right? What is that survey that, oh, if you had 80% of everything you wanted in a mate, would you consider that settling? To women, yes, it's settling. To men, No, it's a damn good deal. This is the exact same thing right here. Oh, I'm not going to get the one thing? That's settling. I'm not going to settle. I want everything. Please like, subscribe, comment down below. I really appreciate that. And I'll catch you guys next time. Ciao.